Hello guys, welcome to MTG Explained. We all know that Zendikar Rising is just around the corner. It's a very exciting time for Magic. And with new sets come new mechanics sometimes. So with this set, it does have two new type of mechanics. It has the party mechanic and the double face card mechanic. Which is, we've seen it before, but it's a little bit different for this new set. But first we're going to look at the party mechanic. Now I really like this mechanic. It's a very fun idea. You know, it has that RPG type feel. If you ever played one of those RPG games where you try to build your classes, you try to make your party, you know, you need your wizard, you need your warrior, you know, you need your rogue, things like that. It kind of got that kind of element to it, but instead for Magic. So it's exciting. It's kind of a new concept they have for it. So basically, certain cards are going to count certain type of number of people in your party, whether it be a rogue, wizard, cleric, or a warrior. So those are the types that it will count. Now you can't have, your party can only consist of one of each of those classes. So you can't have like a 4-party, you know, warriors or something like that, right? You need a balanced party. So it only counts one of those, and it's only up to 4. So when you're the abilities normally count from 0 to 4. So if you have 0 to 4 of those people in your party, and one type of creature can only count has one of those party classes. So if you have one creature that is multi, is a warrior and a wizard, or a warrior and a rogue, or a cleric and this and that, it's only going to be able to fill one of those classes. It can't fill all of those classes at once. So to have a full party, you're going to need at least 4 creatures of different classes. We have here one of the cards that were spoiled recently was Coveted Prize. As you can see here, it costs 1 less for each creature in your party. So a lot of cards are going to have things like this where they cost less, or they do this and that depending on how many creatures are in your party. Some of them will also do an additional effect if you have a full party. So this one does. If you have a full party, you can also cast a creature with 4 mana cost or less from your hand for free without paying mana cost. So that awards you for having a full party, not just having a few creatures inside your party. So it definitely helps you, definitely gives you some incentive to make sure that you have all 4 creatures. But not all cards are going to have that additional effect with the full party, but this one does. So we're gonna see a few of those probably. So very excited about this mechanic. It just seems really a fun idea, especially if you ever played those type of RPG type games, where you have to build your parties. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. But we also got a second mechanic here that's coming out. It's the double-sided cards. Now we kind of seen this before in flip mechanics, but normally it's like where they transform. So we have like werewolves or something like that, where if they didn't cast any spells or something, it will flip. It will transform to a werewolf. This one does. These cards don't transform, but they are double face. So when you play it, you can choose which one you want to cast, right? So here we have Sea Gate Restoration. It's a sorcery card. You can play it, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. You can play that for 7 mana. Has a sorcery, or you can choose to play it as a land, which is Sea Gate Reborn. Okay. Now this one you have to, it enters the battlefield tapped, or you can pay 3 life to make it where it doesn't enter the battlefield tapped. So that is a new idea. So it doesn't flip, doesn't change. You can choose one or the other. So it kind of helps you in certain type of when you're building your deck. So if you have room for some basic land cards, you can play some of these cards in there in your land slot. And it'll also double for a sorcery. So it actually be taking up some of your land spots. But, later down the line, you might be able to cast it for a sorcery instead of a land if you draw it late game. But if you draw it early game, you can play it as a mana, instead of the sorcery. So it kind of gives you some good utility. I think this is going to be an interesting mechanic, and we'll see how this is played. Basically, people are probably going to, so like let's say your deck runs, 24 mana, right? 2 or 3 of those mana might be some of these cards that flip. I'm sorry, that don't flip, that have double sides. That way you can either play it as a mana, if you need the mana, or if you don't need the mana, if you're mana flooded or something, you can cast it for the sorcery, or whatever the secondary ability is going to be, or the secondary card is. Definitely exciting. We'll see how this mechanic goes. So it's not exactly, it's a double face card, but it's not exactly like the ones we've seen before where they flip. You choose one or the other, and when you cast it for that, it stays there. It does follow the same type of rules, has double face cards. Any type of effect is the one on the front. So if you're casting something that says I can cast all instants or sorcery cards from the graveyard, it's going to go on wherever the front facing card is. So in this case, Seek 8 Restoration, it'll be a sorcery, right? It won't be a land. So you have another card that says you can cast lands from your graveyard. You won't be able to cast this from your graveyard because the front facing card is a sorcery. So just keep that in mind. It has all the elements of the front facing card. The convert mana cost is 7, things like that. To have things to do with the convert mana cost is going to be 7, right? So just keep that in mind. It's going to have some of those same type of rules applied to it. Has other double face cards, but again, you can only cast it has one or the other, and it won't flip after you cast it. So I'm really excited about this new set. I hope you guys are too. Please like this video and comment below if you have any questions about these new mechanics. And also, please subscribe to our channel if you like this content that we're putting out. But thanks a lot again for joining us, and we hope you guys have a good one.